The first time I saw her touch my charger, I thought it was a mistake. The second time, I knew it was war. It was 6:17 a.m. The sun was barely peeking over the rooftops of our quiet HOA-controlled neighborhood. I was halfway through my coffee when my phone buzzed with a notification from my EV app. Charging interrupted. I frowned. That was strange. My car had been plugged in overnight, just like always. I walked to the window, expecting to see maybe a power flicker or a loose cable. Instead, I saw her, Karen, standing in my driveway, holding my charger, and plugging it into her car. For a moment, I genuinely thought my brain hadn't woken up yet. My driveway, my charger, her car, like she owned it. I stepped outside calmly. I've learned something about people like her, they feed on reaction. Good morning, I said. She turned slowly, as if I had interrupted her royal ceremony. Blonde bob haircut, oversized sunglasses, yoga outfit that probably cost more than my monthly car payment. Oh good, she said. You're up. I was going to knock. I looked at the charger in her hand. That's mine. She gave a tight little laugh. It's outside. I blinked. Yes. In my driveway. Well, she said, gesturing around dramatically, this is an HOA community. Shared standards. Shared spaces. I stared at her, trying to process the audacity. This, I said slowly, pointing at the concrete beneath her feet, is my property. She crossed her arms. Your charger was clearly accessible. If you didn't want people using it, you shouldn't have installed it so openly. Installed openly. It was literally bolted to my garage wall. That was the moment I realized something important. Karen didn't think she was stealing. She thought she was entitled. And entitlement is far more dangerous. I'll need you to unplug, I said calmly. She smiled. That smug, HOA board meeting smile. Actually, I spoke to someone about this. Oh, yes. The HOA has regulations about exterior installations. You didn't submit a proper shared utility request. I almost laughed. I submitted full permits. Approved by the board. She adjusted her sunglasses. Not the revised 2023 amendment. Ah, there it was. Karen wasn't just a random neighbor. She was on the HOA board. Of course she was. And who exactly told you that? I asked. She tilted her chin up proudly. I did. I'm vice president. That explained everything. I took a slow breath. Unplug my charger, I repeated. She leaned closer to me. Or what? That question hung in the air. She expected yelling. A scene. Something she could twist at the next HOA meeting. Instead, I smiled. Nothing, I said. Enjoy your charge. Her expression flickered, confused. I went back inside. But I didn't let it go. You see, I work in cybersecurity. Specifically, infrastructure security. And when I installed that charger, I didn't just install it. I configured it. My charger wasn't some generic plug-and-play unit. It was a smart level 2 charger with restricted MAC address access, usage logs, and dynamic billing integration. I just hadn't activated those features. Until that morning, I opened my laptop, activated device lock, enabled user authentication, enabled auto billing for unauthorized sessions. And then I waited. About 23 minutes later, my phone buzzed again. Unauthorized user detected. Session locked. Fee applied. Oh yes. My charger had a feature most people never bothered setting up, public mode billing. If an unknown vehicle connects without authorization, it automatically initiates a premium guest rate. At $7 per kilowatt hour. Her SUV battery was 68% empty. I did the math. She was about to pay over $300 for that, public property. I walked back outside casually. She was sitting in her car scrolling on her phone, clearly satisfied. Everything working okay? I asked sweetly. She rolled her window down slightly. Perfectly. That's great, I said. You might want to check your charging app. Her confident expression shifted slightly. My what? Your charging session. She frowned and opened her phone. And then it happened. Her face drained of color. What is this? She snapped. Dynamic billing, I said calmly. Unauthorized usage fee. Premium rate. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. $312. She shrieked. I kept my tone even. That's the current total. It increases every minute. You can't do this, she shouted, scrambling out of her car. Oh, I said gently, but I can. It's my private unit. She rushed to unplug, but the charger had auto lock enabled. It wouldn't release until payment confirmation. You locked it, she yelled. For security reasons, I replied. Neighbors were starting to peek through curtains. Karen hated audiences when she wasn't controlling them. This is illegal, she snapped. No, I said. What's illegal is using private utilities without permission. Her hands were shaking now. You need to unlock this immediately. I'll be happy to, I said. Once the session is cleared. She stared at me, rage building behind her eyes. Then she did what Karens do best. She escalated. You'll be hearing from the HOA, she hissed. Oh, I smiled. I'm counting on it. That evening, I received an official HOA violation notice. Improper exterior modification, unauthorized commercial activity, community resource exploitation. I laughed out loud. Commercial activity, because I charged her for stealing electricity. Fine. If she wanted paperwork, I would give her paperwork. But first, I did something smarter. I printed the charger logs, the security footage, the billing agreement, the HOA's own bylaws highlighting private property rights. And then I noticed something interesting. The 2023 amendment she mentioned. It didn't restrict EV chargers. It encouraged them, with incentives, which meant one of two things. She either hadn't read it, or she was bluffing. I decided to attend the next HOA board meeting. It was packed. Word had spread. Karen sat at the front table, posture rigid, trying to look composed. When it was my turn to speak, I walked up calmly with a folder in my hand. I'd like to address the alleged violation. She gave me a tight smile. Proceed. I connected my laptop to the screen. First slide. Security footage. Her walking into my driveway. Unplugging my car. Plugging in hers. Murmurs filled the room. Her face went pale. Second slide. Charger logs with timestamped billing. Third slide. HOA amendment supporting private EV installations. And finally, I said, the legal definition of utility theft. Silence. You could hear a pin drop. Karen leaned toward her microphone. This is harassment. No, I said. This is documentation. Then came the moment she didn't see coming. One of the other board members cleared his throat. I reviewed the amendment earlier, he said slowly. Private chargers are fully protected installations. Karen's jaw tightened. And billing for unauthorized usage, he continued, is within owner rights. Someone in the audience actually clapped. She looked like she wanted the ground to swallow her. But it wasn't over. Because I wasn't done, I'd also like to propose something, I said. The room quieted. Since EV adoption is increasing in our neighborhood, perhaps the HOA should install actual public chargers in common areas. Heads nodded. It would prevent misunderstandings, I added politely. Now Karen was trapped. If she opposed it, she'd look anti-progress. If she supported it, she'd validate my position. She forced a smile. That's a reasonable suggestion. The vote passed unanimously. And then the board president, who had been suspiciously quiet, spoke. Given recent events, he said carefully, we'll also be reviewing board conduct standards. Karen's hands clenched. She knew what that meant. The meeting ended with applause. Neighbors came up to me afterward. I can't believe she tried that. She's done things like this before. About time someone stood up to her. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. The real regret hit her the next morning. Because word spreads fast in HOA communities. And suddenly, every neighbor with an EV installed private locked chargers. Every neighbor double-checked bylaws. Every neighbor started recording interactions. Karen lost her power. And power is everything to someone like her. A week later, I received an email. Subject. Refund request. She claimed the $312 charge was excessive. I replied with one sentence. Payment reflects usage under unauthorized access terms. No insults. No threats. Just facts. 2 weeks later, she resigned from the HOA board. Official reason, personal priorities. Unofficial reason, public humiliation. The funny thing is, I never wanted revenge. I just wanted boundaries respected. But when someone mistakes kindness for weakness, you remind them, professionally, legally, permanently. Now every time I plug in my car at night, I smile a little. Because my charger isn't public property. It's protected property. And Karen, she learned that lesson the expensive way. Instantly.